we are, there is there is a there is an unceasing move towards informality in men's clothes, and it may reverse, but I mean, it's been it's been a sort of 300-year move towards informality. We lost the top hat, we lost the morning coat, we lost the frock coat, we lost the bowler. We've lost the tie, really. I mean, I'm glad to see you wearing one, because I think the shirts that we all wear are specifically designed. That little V at the top where the collar meets, that is designed to have a tie sitting in it. And if it doesn't have one sitting in it, it sort of doesn't look right. And actually, we do some shirts that have got, band collars. We did them at Tautz. We did them in all sorts of places, because that sort of emptiness there, it just looks a bit sad. And it was funny. I was at Annabelle's not that long ago. Was it Annabelle's? And it was me and one other guy, and I reckon he was probably in his early 20s, and he was quite a cool-looking guy. We were the only two people wearing ties there, and every other man was wearing a navy blazer with a white shirt with 2 or 3 buttons undone. And I'm like, lads, you all look exactly the same, and none of you look that great. So, I think it's a funny one, because now a sort of tie and a suit, like the suit's gone through this amazing transformation in the last 4 or 5 years. I think COVID sort of killed the idea of the suit as being a piece of office wear. And tailored clothes have just got more interesting recently. The colours, the patterns, the way people wear them. And, you have to thank people like Harry Styles and others who've just, blown it all out of the water. Brown has come back. People are wearing brown suits. People are wearing pattern suits. All this fun stuff, kind of dusty pinks and all sorts of interesting colours have become quite normal. And a grey or a blue suit feels like something that's just not really with it anymore.
I would like to say that I'm wearing a dusty pink suit because, although the weather outside might not look like it, the calendar does indicate that it is spring, and I wanted a bit of je ne sais quoi when interviewed. So you say you've relaxed somewhat in your perception of what other people wear. Does that mean that you could use your manifesto pledge when you're now your minister for sartorial affairs? You could use Coco Chanel's line of fashion is anything you can get away with.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, I'm a great lover of clothes, and funnily enough, I've just written a book that's all, and in this book, I'm talking about this kind of arc that we've been through. There's various arcs we've been through. We've been through an arc of consumption. Well, it's not an arc of consumption. It's an ever upward line. But we've been through an arc of quality, and we've been through this. We've been through this huge sort of transformation of the way we all work and all the rest of it. But one of the things in the book is my sort of arc of like really loving fashion and now frankly hating it, because most of what is called fashion now is frankly just a load of absolute garbage that's just literally being pumped out by AI, by these giant like ultra fast fashion companies. Fashion is just like, also, how can you have fashion if you're releasing 4,000 new things every day? You've got brands that are releasing hundreds, if not thousands, of new products a week. Sort of the idea of fashion almost like it's eaten itself. And now the only thing that counts is style, and style, of course, is entirely personal. And when different people arrive at their own style at different moments in their life. Some people, and I suspect you are one of these people, have always been really interested in their clothes. When I was a kid, I really gave a shit about what I was wearing. Even when I was like 4 years old, I was like, I'm not wearing this. This is terrible. I'm having something different. I'm going to go and get my own clothes on. And, from the age of probably 11 or 12, I was like, that's it, parents. You're not buying any more of my clothes. I was very opinionated about it. And I tried lots and lots and lots of different stuff. And, thankfully for me, this was before the digital camera and the mobile phone. So all those horrendous things that I experimented with there is very limited evidence. And what evidence there is in printed form in the bottom of some shoebox in the bottom of a cupboard somewhere. But I got to a point in my early 20s where I sort of knew what I really liked wearing, and I knew what made me feel my best. And I was like, right, well, that's what I'm gonna wear from now on. And then when I started working in clothes, I was just expressing for the benefit of other people my discovered rules of what looks good and what doesn't look good. And it's for me it's proportion, it's symmetry, it's texture, it's material. It's not a huge amount of color and print, although we've done a little bit, and I think in some cases it really works. But for me, it's a much more sort of architectural sense of clothing. It's having the right things, the right proportion, having harmony between the colors. I'm an absolute stickler for color. When we were designing Tautz collections, every single pink had to be the same shade, and every single, if we had 3 browns, they had to run across all the different things. It was and texture and the scale of pattern and things was always really important for us. But I just worked it out, and then I stuck with it. And some people get to that point later in life. Some people never get to it. I've got a good friend who honestly looks like he's just rolled himself in glue and jumped in a cupboard. And whatever sticks is what he wears, and it never, God bless him, never ever looks good.